What's happening? This is a Shed podcast, the podcast that brings you everything from music, sports, religion, politics, and happy slapping. Myself, Dixie, as always. Daniel, as always.
Easy.
New episode, new guest, Mr. Montgomery. What's happening, mate?
What's good, my bro? What's good?
So you're a journalist, yeah?
Yeah.
I know of your work. Daniel knows of your work, but for somebody who isn't as familiar, what would you say that you actually do?
I'm the guy that always goes, this is your number one journalist here, Mr. Montgomery. That's me. But yeah, right now, I have a page, a channel that caters to all UK urban news. So, yeah, in music. So, that's mainly what it is. I do documentaries. I've done a couple documentaries. And I had a show on Link Up TV as well. And some people would say that I played a big part in the drill scene. I don't know, but yeah.
So you say you play a big part in the drill scene, and what do you think about the comparison to DJ Academics?
I mean, it's not like I don't like DJ Academics. There's some things that he does that man don't really like. Do you get what I mean? Like the whole 6ix9ine and how he was so invested in it. I don't really like the way he went around. But in terms of him as a platform, like the way he presented news and started doing it, I definitely say, yeah, I got it from him. Definitely.
So the blueprint with the gifts and
yeah. But man, don't talk about man getting smacked up on a Tuesday or something like that.
Why is that? Are you conscious about what you report on?
Yeah, I know exactly how it feels for you to have a madness and everybody's talking about it. Or someone got whacked up or someone got hit up and then, there's just tension because everyone's talking about it. You make the person feel uncomfortable. I know how that feels. And I know how other people feel about it as well. And it's just, there's no point. This is real beef. What's going on?
You say that, but you got a documentary called Snitching, yeah? And you have been accused of saying some things that might have incriminated people in the past. Like we've had K-Trap say something, and you had a lot of backlash from the Burner interview. Is that something that you worry about or you think about, or is it this is journalism and take it how you want?
No, definitely. From that interview, I've really matured and leveled up as well. Because definitely sometimes there's a barrier that you shouldn't cross. Regardless in anything, in any job. You cannot sacrifice your self-worth and your morals for your work. It don't matter what it is. So there's certain things that I've asked and it's been maybe I shouldn't have really asked that, but it's pushed that barrier.
Yeah, do you feel you overstepped the mark with the interview then?
To a degree, but I mean, it showed a lesson to everyone, if that makes sense. No one's been, it's not like, the thing with me, no one's been bagged for anything. I haven't asked anyone something mad did you do this? And then bam, they're in jail the next night. No, definitely not, fam.
The part of your journalism, is there certain things you don't talk on because there's a worry of being pulled up because people are on the streets?
Yes and no. No one's invincible. Do you know what I mean? Nobody. I've seen a 6 foot tall guy die, fam. Someone I thought that would never die. Big, powerful person, and he died. No one's invincible. So to a degree, yes, but knowing where I come from and my past and whatnot, I know how to handle situations. I know how to be able to reason with somebody and level with someone at the highest, rageous moment. So, but yeah, to answer your question, to a degree, yeah, a little bit.
I don't think that you did step the mark. I feel as an artist, as a public figure, if there's something that you're going to publicly put out there, I'm allowed to speak on it. The thing that was said was in a lyric, you know what I mean? You're allowed to speak on it. So let's talk about the journalism, yeah? Is there any type of topics that you avoid, that you've had the chance to report on, but be you know what, I don't feel comfortable with this?
Recently, the Young Spray thing, when he was on Twitter and he was ranting, so I did the first report on the actual incident because it was related to music. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Because it was related to music, I could give my journalistic opinion on it based on music. But of recent, when he's been on Twitter getting at people and saying certain things that has nothing to do with music, so why do I need to come and say something about it? And he is of a certain age that you shouldn't be doing that on Twitter, if that makes sense. You shouldn't be doing anything. So it's more or less he needs help than me trying to promote what he's talking about, because some of the things he was saying weren't right, and I don't need to say that, fam. If you've seen it, you've
It's
seen it. If
known,
you know,
it's-
yeah, you get it. Like,
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I think he could have conducted himself a bit better in what he was saying via social media. But then we're in a generation now where everything's through social media. So when people have a bad day, they generally go on their fucking Twitter or Facebook and talk about their day or talk about certain situations.
It's dangerous because on things like tweets and that, you don't have time to process what you're saying. If you've got your phone in your hand, you're thinking this automatically, you're writing it instead of taking a step back to have a thought about it. Do you know what I mean? But talking on that, your niche kind of is, and what you're known for is drill. You've interviewed loads of drill artists. Some of them not the most articulate people. As a journalist, how do you get them people to open up?
I mean, it's just, like I said, just being where I come from, the environment that I'm from, my past and my history, just the things I've learned, how to approach a man. Sometimes certain men are not even on the whole friendly thing. They're just, well, go on, my brother, you good? Keep that same energy. Some man, they want to feel loved. They want to feel like, rah, what's good? Like, you know what I mean? And then you do that. So you need to understand, or I've understood how to like react to certain man, what to say around certain man, and how to be a certain way.
Yeah, so it's just like analysing someone's character and quickly gathering what they're about.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of.
Talking about the drill thing, why is that your niche? Why is that something that you choose to report on more than other stuff?
Yeah, of recent, I have obviously branched out to the whole UK now, and just providing an element of education in my videos, if that makes sense, at least. So when you go on one video, you take something from it, whether you do music or you don't do music. But I think with drill, it's just the most unique thing. Like I said, I'm from, like, a lot of them I can understand them, and a lot of them can understand me. And I know quite a lot of drill artists. I grew up around some of the drill artists that I've interviewed as well. So that's just helped in the whole process, and we all understand each other, and they understand that they're getting something out of it, and I'm getting something out of it, if that makes sense. So
You spoke about, off camera, about this meeting that you had with, because you are a figure within that scene, probably one of the only people reporting it from the side of the artist and on in the trenches, ground level. Let's talk about this meeting that you had with Google. I've never seen you haven't posted anything about this.
no, it's not really like a postable thing. I can't really talk too much on it because of the severity of it, and it's involving a lot of people. But there are some things that they have implemented that they've shared publicly, like they said that they're gonna try and do. So
So can you tell us what actually got said in this meeting?
So now, like, it's various different meetings. Now what they're trying to do is they're trying to attach bars, which they've done now recent, but they're really trying to implement it in the book, where they can use a bar in court. Like, it will be legal. Well, it's not like it's not illegal, but it will be a standard thing. Like, that will be part of the evidence, what is said on a song. Like,
Where do we cross the line here between like expression, freedom of speech, and things being used as evidence? Being an artist, and who is it? First of all, what type of figures was in this meeting?
just Facebook, Google, obviously the Met, like people of higher ends and affluence, people that are in different departments that I've never heard of in my life. And it's interesting seeing the type of people that are there. And when they play the music, the way they react, it's like no one here is young. Will you really understand what they're saying?
Right. Sorry to cut you up, bro. Is it a case of the people that are in the meeting don't understand where the guys doing drill are coming from?
Definitely.
And I guess that's why you're invited.
And it's a big barrier.
Yeah.
That's where because bro, when they listen to that music, they're just thinking, the fuck is this? Is outrageous what they're talking about. But really, it's just young man expressing what the fuck they're living through every day.
And it's true, bro. It's perspective.
Yeah.
The way you look at it, fam. Like, the way you decide to look at it. I can look at a drill song and think, rah, this is a youth in the hood that's trying to come out of the hood and better his life, because I know a lot of people that have gone down that same route. Mm-hmm. But to somebody that grew up in Cheshire and doesn't know anything about this, they're going to look at it and think, this is the most evil guy on the planet. So, it's crazy. It's definitely perspective.
Did you get to say what you needed to say in that meeting?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just when you're at the level that I'm at, it's like sometimes you're used as a pawn in some of these in some of these meetings or in some of these things.
Explain that.
Just in like, all right, it's like it's only really now they're caring about drill music now that it's getting up there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like I don't really like to use the racial term and everything, but because it's a black thing, because it's popular, like a lot of people have said that's the reason why you're targeting it as a thing that's the reason for knife crime, only because it's a black thing that's going up. So they're gonna try and use or put people in these meetings to show, okay, how can you say that we're not when we have someone like this that's here, if that makes sense, to kind of rebuttal the argument.
So you feel like you was there just to say that we brought someone in from that scene, that culture, so it must be cool what we're saying kind of thing.
Yeah, in most cases, not all the time. There are some where it's like, no, like they genuinely are trying to get some source of information, or they're actually using you like for the right purpose that you're called for. But in most cases, yeah, it's opposite.
So do you think? I'm guessing you. Do you think that the bad press that drill music gets, is it precedented or not? Because I know that you have actually interviewed drill artists that are not here with us no more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. R.I.P. to Incognito, obviously. Yeah, that was a real life-changing interview for me in terms of the way I looked at life. Like, you know, I'd interviewed him, and then after that, like we were speaking, like we was talking about music. Like I even have conversations on my WhatsApp, like, and it's like, how did that go to just? It's just not happening. It's like it's become a you know, if you make plans with somebody, yeah, and like it just doesn't happen. That's just how it feels. It's like one day he's gonna we're gonna meet up, fam, and he's just not here. And it's crazy. That whole experience with that happening, it just taught me a lot in what I say, the way I behave and stuff like that. And yeah.
Do you see a correlation between...
Wait, sorry, one sec.
Go on.
What was the question again? I feel like I went way off topic.
I said, do you feel like the bad press that drill music gets, is it precedented?
Yeah, I believe it to an extent. It is, like, just with the way certain things are. Like, I mean, like, you can't diss the dead, if that makes sense. Like, there's a barrier that you just can't cross. Like, you can't diss the dead, and you can't talk about your rivals, and you don't expect your videos to get taken down. Like, they're gonna get taken down, fam. So you need to learn that line not to cross.
Yeah.
Do you feel like being in the meetings is in like any way beneficial to helping drill in a certain extent?
I mean, if I determine myself, then yeah, if I go there and I'm like, I don't care whatever I do, I'm gonna make a difference in this meeting. Whether I speak to one person and I give them an idea, I believe it's just, in life, you can't, like, you don't know where you're gonna be positioned, but you just need to make the most out of wherever you are at that present moment. And if some people might look at it and just think, oh, you're just there just for the sake of it, I'm looking at it as I'm gonna make a difference. So I think if I really want to make a difference, I will make a difference. So, yeah.
Do you think there's some sort of connection between the violence in London and drill music?
Definitely, 100%. I'll be a liar if I didn't say that.
To what extent, if you had to say percentage-wise?
If I could give a percentage, I would probably say 30%, like just under half. Because I do feel like with or without drill music, knife crime will be going on a daily.
I don't think the drill music is... It has been, I think the only reason that we're seeing it, the bad press that we're seeing, is because social media is so much more heavier. But when you talk to older artists, they feel like they had that barrier and that wall and that bad press as well. I just think because we're in the social media era, and I think it comes away from the music when people are filming things on Snapchat and things like that. It makes it a bit more realer.
I get what you're saying, bro, but like growing up in the hood and being around certain people, it takes one music video to change your whole life.
I know that. I used to rap.
If
I know
you're
that personally.
in a music video,
I know that personally. Yeah.
bait face, from that day on, you will not live the same life. You will be,
connected to...
exactly. Like, you've literally been initiated, and maybe you was just there walking around. You're in the video. That's it. And from then, fam. So to some degree, you can say, raw. A little bit, it does have.
So would you advise young people not to be in these videos if they're...
boy, if you're not involved, then definitely not. Like for sure, definitely.
Because
not,
it comes to the whole
But-
conversation about gangs. Like when man is saying that this is a gang, really that's a bunch of your brethren that you went to school with, you fucking kicked ball with after school, and you're just a group of boys that are friends. And all of a sudden, man make music. It's only when man, I don't feel like any of these man them come out and label themselves as a gang.
Bro, back in the days, yeah, like I grew up in the era of gas gang.
Yeah.
You get me? Like I grew up in Brixton. I lived in Fields, but I grew up in Angeltown because my grandma lived in Angeltown, and I was in the middle of gas gang, like territory wise, like, and that was a gang. That was a mafia. That was a full on gang, and I feel like just like what you said, it's different. It's a completely different thing now. Like
You saying about people being in videos, automatically you're initiated, and you talk about being from Angeltown and Fields and around the era gas gang. Did that ever cause you any problems?
definitely, because I had family members that was involved, and I had friends that were involved. So even though man was not fully on the road, like banging out, yeah, I'm gonna shank you, but I'm still associated with that crowd,
Yeah.
and that's gonna come. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like just like with a lot of drill artists, they say a friend of a friend is an op.
Let's talk about notes. You had a problem with notes.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. To be honest, like I'm not even on this whole When I was in the video, just getting onto him, it was just out of anger, but there was some truth to it. But it was just basically, I did a video just critiquing him, and 90% of the video was positive towards his thing. It wasn't even like, oh,
I don't know. I got what you said written down here, man. Talking about they jumped on music because they might be broke or in debt.
No, I didn't say it like that, but I was just like, oh, if you're like you're doing well now, and if the reason for you doing well is maybe you're in debt, then boy, that because you're working hard. I was like, you're working so hard, bro. But it wasn't a violation thing. It was just, yo, my brother, I like what you're doing, and that's just it. And then he went on Twitter and just said some next thing. He was like, oh,
Said
yeah.
about getting your face ripped
Yeah,
off.
getting my face ripped off. Come on, man. I can't have my face off, bro. I can't.
Alright, so then where does the line cross from you being a journalist, you're respected in your field, to then you call him Notes a waste man and tell him shut up and carry on making love songs?
Yeah, no, trust me, bro. Cause you gotta let man know, fam. Even though I'm professional and I do what I do, like I'm still me, and I'm not a waste man. I don't take disrespect. There's no need for disrespect. I didn't disrespect you in the video, if that makes
So
sense.
the way you do videos as well, you speak on a lot of things. Is he not allowed to have? You're allowed to critique on him. Is he not allowed to say to? Well, is it really critique? Man said without your face off. I don't know if that's really.
Like, and the thing is, he said that, but it doesn't even make sense because the whole interview, the whole video was positive. It was good about him. And if worse comes to worse, my brother, you could have DM'd me, fam. Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
You had no conversation behind the scenes.
Fam,
The only thing I see about
that
that
is
is,
just, yeah.
see when you're doing a video, you said 90% is positive towards him. So that 10%, he's obviously taking the 10% and thought, well, my man's trying to point me out here. But you're uploading it on your channel, which is gonna get thousands of views. So then, why should he DM you on a personal note when you're showing 30,000?
If you said what you said in public, why should he message you in private?
No, I'm talking about before, when my video was like the first video that was positive about him. He should have shouted me and been like, yo, my bro, like, why did you say that, fam? And then that's why I went out and did the video of me getting onto him, fam, because you've publicly tried to violate my thing now, so I'm gonna publicly violate you. You get what I'm trying to say? But not in a tit for tat. This is not beef.
Yeah.
This ain't beef. This is not, I'm on to you when we're not on that. If that was it, that would be us going back, regressing. Like, we're trying to
Benny
progress
Banks come
now.
into it there?
Because Benny Banks said something about how he started, he was cussing the Afro swing thing. Mm-hmm. And I think he said Notes his name and Rams' name. And then that's when like everyone was just like, yo, bro.
Shit,
like,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like that was just obviously, yo, bro, there was no need for you to say that. Like there was no point, because they're doing what they're doing and they're respected in their field. When you was doing what you was doing, I'm sure there was someone else saying, oh, you're a fake rapper or something like that. Like I think every generation there's that person saying, oh, this person ruined the industry. So just chill, man. He's a young guy trying to do his thing. And that's what I was saying in the video. Like, allow my guy. Like,
Nah,
he's doing
the second
well,
video
like,
weren't like
no,
that,
no,
bro.
the second video, no, of course, man was on him. I was onto him, fam. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna let man just say what he's saying on Twitter, like a whole platform, and then for your fans to try and get onto me. No, I had to stick up for myself, but it wasn't no violent thing. Man wasn't saying I'm gonna bang you in your face. No, it's just you said what you're saying to me, so I'm gonna say what I'm saying to you, and that's it. Where do we go from here? After that, he got 100 million streams on Spotify. After that, I went on to be on BBC, ITV, Sky News, CNN. You know what I'm trying to say? So we both went in a good direction after that. So I see it as a positive.
How does that happen, old Sky News thing? They just shout you.
Yeah, no, like obviously I was working. I had a job in some like agency thing in an office, and I was on my break. And then obviously they were like, yeah, the prince and the princess are gonna be in Bricky. And I was like, you know what, let me just go. I don't know who might be there. I might speak to somebody from Sky, ITV, and see what I can do.
You was on your lunch break, went down to...
Yeah, man was on my lunch break still. I was like, you know what, I might as well just go. There was something telling me, just don't, like, just get your lunch, go back to the office and bake off.
How
like,
long was your lunch break, bro?
An hour.
Alright, cool.
And they came at the time of my break, fam. So they came bang on the time of my break.
So what about hours? Because it feels like every time someone gets killed and there's like a report on it, correlating it to music or something like that, you're on the news. You and specifically and the Finesse Forever guys. What's that? Is it just do you ever get like ask me something else? Ask me about something else?
Yeah, it's coming to a point where it's just like, yeah, ask me something else. But I mean, mine was a range. Like they asked me stuff about how brands, because there was a whole thing with brands not doing any adverts with any drill songs. Yeah, that's not about killings and knifings, and that's good for me because that's helped me go into other ventures of marketing. I've set up a PR agency through that, just through that one interview. So a bit of it is good, and yeah, it's true. Just the whole knife crime and drill thing, like it's getting to a point where it's just like you can just mix it up a bit, like. But at the end of the day, it's always another opportunity for me to give a different insight. I don't have the same answer every time they ask me, which is good, which means I've grown and I've just been learning and studying. So it's good for me to see how much I know from the last time they asked me and stuff like that. So
When you was clotting Daniel at FIFA, yeah, you mentioned about you don't think that drill's got long left.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna die, but every genre, of course, has its time, and like a lot of people will agree with me. A lot of drill artists agree with me that it's gonna get to a point where drill is not gonna be as hot. Another genre will take over, but drill will still exist, and the artists that are charting now will still have a following. But another genre is going to take over, and I think that's probably going to happen in the next year and a half.
See, that's what I thought. I would have been the opposite because I would have thought you got Gun Lean in the remix, the charts, Unknown T. It can only get bigger, no?
Fam, this is consumerism, bro. We get tired of the same old stuff. That's just how we are as individuals. In the last 3 years, there's been 3 genres: grime, Afro swing, and drill. Don't you think there's going to be another one in the 4th year and the 5th? Like it's just going to keep going on and on. Like this is music. Music lives forever. There will be new ways of creativity to come.
Yeah, I think it comes in cycles as well. Music.
Definitely.
It's all about you just come off a tour with AM and Skengdar.
Yeah.
What's it like? What's the relationship with them? I guess what could you spoke about being from Fields earlier? Is that the relationship?
Yeah. So obviously I grew up with AM and Skengdar, like from birth, like young. Miss James, it's Skengdar, if you see this. You know, yeah, so we've grown up in the same environment, we've gone through the same things, but I've just gone down the journalism route and they went down the music route.
What's it like being on tour with them?
It was good, man. It was good. It was amazing because I was with old school man them that I haven't seen in a while because I'm not in the ends like that. So it's a breath of fresh air when you're just reuniting with people.
Alright, so I'm guessing you might know a bit more than us then, yeah, about Skengdar name getting banned from making certain tunes, getting us to talk. We don't know that much.
Yeah. So basically, what it was is they had an injunction, yeah, and the injunction was they couldn't say anyone from Harlem's name, and they couldn't go Kenneton. 2 things they didn't do during the injunction. But basically, what happened was they got to court and they just started pickpointing at the drill songs. and saying, you're talking about this, blah, 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 etc. And they got a suspended sentence, fam. So the media made it seem like it was some massive thing, and all it was
They're always
they
gonna
just
do that anyway, man.
No, I see.
it was a big thing, but I mean, like the media, like they didn't include the right information, because I spoke to Finesse forever, and there are certain things they didn't say in certain articles and stuff like that. So they're allowed to do music. They done a Hardest Bars freestyle recently, so they're all good.
So there is no problems with them then.
Obviously, the injunction that was set before is still there, but it's good at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like if the police are gonna say don't say this person's name, that's better than man saying someone's name, and then if somebody dies, we're gonna question, is drill music the reason? Da, da, da. It's rather prevention is better than cure. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they're good. They're good. They're alright.
So what about your documentaries? Let's talk about the documentaries. Why documentaries?
Man, it's just a different type of storytelling. I can say like music is the original storytelling. So growing up in the hood, and I know everybody nowadays is just saying I'm from the hood, I'm from the hood, I'm from the hood. Like, I hate that, fam. But yeah, like growing up in the area I grew up in, it's like when I was just watching the man them, just the way they'll behave, like my older cousins, friends, the way they'll behave, and I would listen to music, I would just think, bro, this is the only way you would tell what's going on in the hood. Or this is the only way you're gonna know like about these characters. Like there's no other way. And I was just thinking, fam, like I might as well just do a documentary like on just life in the hood, but not giving it a fake, angry and aggressive view, but just giving a real life view. Like there's days in the hood where there's like a barbecue or a party and the man are just having fun. Like, and I'm just thinking, this is what we need to be showing, fam. That
That's not what your documentaries are about, though.
But to a degree, yeah. Like it's just, I just wanted to show the reality, fam. That's all man wanted to do. Like,
how did you? Because you said
for
about
the first one, for my first one, the first
on your
first,
block?
first one, yeah, on your block. That's what I just wanted to show, like just the reality of the man them. Like when they're in studio, even Moscow 17, the interview I did with them, it was in their studio. It wasn't even a studio. It was some bedroom. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the raw element of it that I wanted to get on that. Because you're just going to listen to a track and just think, yeah, that's that. But if I told you it's in someone's room, you got to put a cloth over this, you got to do that, you just think, oh, whatever. But when you see it, you're like, rah, is this how the man them record? And they're making bangers. Like, it's stuff like that I wanted to capture on camera. So, yeah.
How'd you manage? You mentioned earlier about being from the gas gang era and being around Angel Town and things like that. So how'd you manage to go to places where their man ain't really liked and get their man on your documentary as well?
Because man's not on the road thing like that. I let man know, fam. I'm not on that. I'm trying to progress. I'm trying to move forward. And this is not no connection. And it's funny you said that, because that documentary just showed how the man them can be united. I got all 4 groups on one documentary.
Did they
and
know
most of
that
them
they was all going to be
They
on?
knew, all of them knew. I said, listen, this person's going to be on it, that person's going to be on it, and that's it. Only one person, I'm not going to say who the person was, but one person was a bit iffy after. It was like, yo, my brother, I'm not going to lie, like, this is a bit, I don't know if I want to be on this. And then I was like, yo, bro, it's going to bang, like, it's going to bang. And then after 2 days, I got 100,000 views, and then, yeah, fam.
We spoke a little bit about it before. Let's talk about the self-snitching documentary. Because a lot of people think that you try and get people to self-snitch on themselves. Right? I know I mentioned it earlier about K-Trap called you a fucking idiot and all that. What would you say to that?
No, it's just, obviously man just said raw, like, it's not, even when I said in the documentary, yo, like, you called me an idiot, it was just more of, yo, there's 2 people sitting here right now. Why do you not call him out as well? Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's more, no, that's not what I said in the documentary, but then when I did a comment, that's what I said. I was like, raw, like, why didn't you just say that to him, fam? Like, it wasn't even a beefing thing or anything. Like, man used to listen to K-Trap a lot, but it's I stopped listening to him after that, fam, because it's just, raw, my brother. Like, come on, fam, there was no need in doing that. You could have DM'd me, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, a couple man DM'd me, and I spoke to people after the episode and that, and it was calm. And I was just like, raw, like, if you're saying that to me, then let me say that to you as well, fam, but not on a grease stick. Like I said, it's not, no one's beefing. You cannot classify this as beef or anything like that. Do you get what I mean? But I just felt like I needed to say that, yo, like, you're saying that to me, but you're not trying to understand where I'm coming from, or you're not trying to see my perspective. That's just
I don't
basically
know.
what it was.
You actually said in the documentary, I'm the fucking idiot, but you're the one wearing a mask. You just said all that.
I
but
just
that's not
said
what you
it,
said,
yeah,
innit?
but that was bants though. That was
Yeah.
not. It was just that was just to me. That was just for me to say, rah, like, okay, I've acknowledged your comment, and this is what I'm saying to you as well. Like what? Like I'm not doing anything to cause backlash, or there's no point in you saying that to me. And I don't like the fact that you said that to me. But it's not in a greased thing.
You
but
ever
it's
worry
just-
about burning bridges?
That's just what man's saying, innit? Like,
But as a
coming
as a,
from you, what?
as a journalist, like, you should definitely know that if you say something, someone says something, then you reply to that. That's tit for tat. You kind of know where this is going to be going.
No, not really, because I think we both understood the severity of the actual thing that was going on. I think we both realised that it was stupid. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like I said, he's gone on to do a headline show after that. I've gone on to do the stuff that I'm doing. So again, that's another incident that man's just taken from it and just moved forward. Do you get what I mean? And like I said, after that interview, I learned. You know what I mean? Like there's certain ways you deal with certain things. I'm young. We're all young. And we're in the industry. We've been thrown in. We're coming from a place where they don't teach you what to do in front of camera and how to speak and stuff like that. So I've learned from there and I know how to deal with certain situations. But that's nothing, fam. Like, man, I respect K-Trap and what he does, definitely. You know what I mean? As a drill artist, he's really hit that pinnacle level. He's an elite drill artist. Do you know what I mean? And I respect that. But the comment that he said, it just didn't sit well with me, and I just thought, right, let me just go and say what I need to say because I'm not scared, but I need to stand my ground here. Do you know what I mean? I've learnt from that. Do you know what I mean? I've learnt that it's not everything you need to reply to and it's not everything you need to say, but that's just one incident that I've gone through and I've learnt from that. That's it.
Do you know a lot about the 1011 case? And is there an injunction? I'm guessing you're the man that probably might know.
100%, I don't know everything about it, but I think what happened was this was all in a news article.
Not the actual crime. The
Okay.
actual. Is it like an injunction or is it the same thing?
I mean, they're calm now. They're doing what they're doing now. I think it's with police permission. So I don't think there's any problem with it because if that was the case, their videos would have been taken down. So I think they've just passed whatever it was and they've abandoned the name and come with a new name. It's who they are. And they're bait face as well. So I don't think there's any problem. I think what I do know is it was with police permission. And that was it.
When you watch documentaries, who do you fuck with? Like I personally fuck with like Louis Theroux and people like that. Who do you watch?
Reggie Yates, man, definitely like, one of the legends for me. Like, actually, when I first put out On Your Block, he spoke to me about it, like, and he was like, "Yeah, I really liked it, blah blah blah." Like so, but Reggie Yates definitely for me, man, hands down.
Do you ever worry about coming on things like this? Because Reggie Yates got in trouble for going on the Half-Cast podcast, no, and saying that he actually lose his job at BBC for saying that something about Jewish people running most industries, which is true. Would you ever worry about things like that?
Yeah, I mean, no, because I'd probably know what to say. But we're in a PC era now, like where you gotta watch what you say, how you say it, the things you like, stuff like that. Like, but definitely, if I need to play the game, I'll play the game, which is just be careful in what I say, and I'm playing the game already now, if that makes sense. Just by not talking on certain beefs and certain things that people are in demand for. The amount of videos that people send me of people getting beat up. And I'm just like, yo, I don't need this. Like, decline it, fam.
What do you mean of like
Bro, I've got videos. Well, I don't have it on me now. Like, it's gone. But people send me videos of certain things happening to certain people. Just dumb little stuff.
for you
like,
to do a story on?
Yeah. Like, this person got chased down the road or this happened. Look at this guy. Like, and I'm thinking, yo, my brother, I don't need to. I'll block you, fam. I'll block you straight away if you send me that crap.
Why journalism out of all things? Because usually the man them play football or music or something like that.
Yeah, just like that. Like when I was saying how when I was in my area and I was just chilling and I just watched the way the man them move and stuff like that. Like conversations with the man them, the way the man them used to talk. Like I don't know if you've ever just sat in a room, maybe you just hit a zoot or something and you're with all your boys and you're just sitting there and you're just talking. You're having a good conversation like about real life stuff. I was like, fam, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I want to be able to just talk about stuff that matter, not just to me, but the whole world. Like and that experience of sitting down with your boys all the time, having a conversation is better than any experience in conversation with anyone else, because you're honest, you're real with all your boys, like you all know each other. And yeah, that's just exactly how I wanted to work. That's just what I want to get paid to do, fam. Just to have serious and meaningful conversations that can add to your life.
So what's happening with the initial thing that I know you for, the Mr. Montgomery Show? Where is that?
I don't know, man. I feel like I've just grown up, fam. I feel like man's grown up and I've just gone to a different level of journalism, if that makes sense. Like in the beginning, man was just doing it as a joke thing. Like it was serious, but it wasn't serious.
The fucking crowd,
bro. Yeah, I had people in the audience.
Oh, you had big people.
you had a few names on there as well, like.
Yeah, people that are still relevant to this day, like, and it's 3 years ago that I first recorded. So yeah, man, it was a good project for me, but I just feel like I put that to the side. I might return to that, but I feel like my field of journalism now is a bit more impactful, like in a different area, fam, than
So
doing that.
Is there no offence on Link Up TV then either?
Yeah, that was on hold because I think Fumes Engineer has his show now, innit?
Yeah.
And that's just a way better format for artists to go on and speak, because they might not feel comfortable coming into a room and sitting down. And
I don't even think
know
it's
what
that.
I
I think some of the people that you pick don't know how to really talk sometimes.
No, I think if you put them in a studio with Fumes,
Okay,
they do
yeah,
a
different
verse.
settings,
After
yeah,
that,
yeah.
they're gonna come back. They're gonna be tired. Yeah, fam, you man heard it, like, and then you're gonna the energy's just gonna be there. Whereas someone coming in, man's never met you before, or I spoke to you on the phone, you're gonna sit down, the room is tense, it's silent, and it's just
Jesus wearing a bally sitting across from you. Bro.
yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like you're uncomfortable.
Who's the most promising artist to watch out for in drill right now?
In drill right now,
Quote unquote drill, no low skis or heady ones because them have got a different sound.
hardcore drill. I definitely think it's Digger D, fam. Like Digger D, but 100%. Like he's in, I think he's in jail now, man. But Digger D, I think he's next up, 110%. There's Digger D, there's OFB, the young ones, SJ, Els. They're next up. They just released a banger. Drill.
No one at S1 or no one.
Yeah, okay. S1 definitely. KO, V9,
Homo,
the guy
man.
that wears the red mask.
Yeah.
Him. He's too cold, man.
What do you think about S1 signing for 2 in a queue?
I mean, it wasn't exactly just that. Like, it wasn't like that. I think he was expecting to get the rest of his P's, and according to him, like he said it, the money just didn't come. So I don't think he told him, yeah, alright, man's gonna give you this and you're gonna sign.
I'm guessing you've had a few people shout you to do things on press play, you know?
Yeah, funny enough, yeah. When I was about to release On Your Block, they shouted me like the day before, and they were like, oh, like, we'll give you keys to put it on my channel, on our channel, fam. I was like, fuck, no.
I've not
this
heard
is
great
the
things
maddest
about them right
story.
now.
Have you heard? Did you hear stories about them before? Or-
No, fam. The maddest thing is, like, I know someone from there. Like, I worked closely with him when I was doing the Mr. Montgomery Show the first time. What was his name again? I think Fabio or something like that. And no, Marcio. Yeah, Marcio. And he was decent people. So when I was hearing all of these things, I was just like, raw, fam. Because press play has always been good to man still. And some of the stuff that I've heard about Danny, with the way he's helped artists in terms of not getting no money out of it, I was just thinking.
But they don't seem to get no money either, though, no?
Boy, I don't know what's going on over there.
Can I ask you something?
I wish the best for
This
them,
might
bro.
not be something that you really know about, right? But because you're a journalist in this scene, why is nobody reporting on Solo 45's case?
That is a very, very, very important one, fam. I think, man, everyone's just waiting for the final verdict, man.
Yeah, but we don't... This is where I don't understand it, because you report on things like people leaving jail and shit, yeah? Like things that are they're not relevant, but smaller artists, things like them leaving jail. And we have this big energy for R. Kelly, and we have our own R. Kelly in our own scene, and we're not speaking about it. And I feel like there's no one in that field talking about it.
I think what it is as a journalist, I call myself a journalist, I have the responsibility to present the facts and nothing but the facts.
But you do know, like, So how do you feel about? Can I ask you something? And then we'll lead. We'll come across it for this. So how do you feel about R. Kelly then?
I mean, of course, I think it's disgusting.
All right. Well, you know R. Kelly. Hold on. You know R. Kelly got not guilty. You know that, yeah? And you know he beat his cases and that, yeah? But he's still disgusting. We got Solo 4-5's in court now, and you can't talk on it.
No, I mean, it's not that I can't. I don't talk about R. Kelly like that. I don't.
No,
really
I know
say
that, but I'm saying like we have this energy.
I get what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
but it's just like I said, me as a journalist, like you're talking to me, you're not talking to some next journalist from BBC. Like, I don't do stories when I know it's gonna tarnish a man's name, even though it's fact. If a guy got beat up or something like that, you know I might not even do that story. So I'm not gonna do a story on someone that hasn't even been sentenced yet. When he's sentenced, maybe I might say something about it. Just maybe I might say something about it.
Coming away from that then, what were we saying about the whole Skep the Wiley thing? Skepta just dropped these discs last night. What were we saying?
Yeah, I think Wiley's replied already as well, isn't it?
No. Gee.
He's not replied. You sure? Because I've just seen it on Instagram.
No, man. Amanda's called Westwood
Are you
Snake.
sure?
On
bro.
Just seen it now. I ain't seen it.
Go on. I want to get it up quick. I won't play it on nothing.
What do you think about that?
I think the whole Wiley incident is just. I think he's just trolling.
Wiley done a video on you before, no?
Yeah, but he weren't dissing my
No,
thing.
I'm not
he was
saying.
actually promoting my thing, and yeah, man. Like I spoke to him on a level. Like he knows what he's doing, fam. Wiley knows what.
These men have done this before.
Exactly. Wiley knows what he's doing, man, and we're all buying into it. We're all buying into it.
I don't know if I'm buying into it. Not after last time where the man done the whole thing with the fucking. Remember they done the big house in the country, and my man done what all over, and then man done a fucking album where they're boxing each other on the cover. But yeah, that's.
I mean, there is a limit that my man should not cross. You know what I mean? Like, because we don't want things to get too serious. Definitely, man's not gonna come. Regardless, Wiley, the Godfather, Skepta, whoever it is, man will say, "Right, there's a barrier that man shouldn't."
There is,
go
especially
past.
in your scene. We're talking about people talking about dead people, and that's where.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just keep it PG, fam. For me, I love a good music clash. I can report on man doing a diss song on another man in a format of just music. Yeah, I like that. I like musical clashes because it brings the best out of both artists. It's your job to do that. You're a musician, fam. You're meant to make music.
Yeah, just for an example, you see the Chip and Younger one? They was talking a lot of crud in their lyrics, like when they see each other, blah, blah, blah. What do you think of that one? Would you have reported on that one?
I wasn't even doing the stuff I was doing when that was going on. Probably, yeah. I think there were some things aside the incident that didn't really need to get any recognition, like when I think Youngin got caught with chicken and stuff like that. Stuff like that wasn't part of the musical, but the fact that it was a legendary thing was musically they provided a good enough catalogue for it to be a real beef. You know what I mean? Like they provided a good, like they worked hard on their craft. They went in the studio and they made music. You know what I'm trying to say? So they sold us a product, and that's good. But when man, their chicken and that is getting thrown around and stuff like that, that's when I don't really care. But the music side, definitely.
I want to talk about two more things before we wrap up. Yeah, what do you think about gospel drill and Irish drill?
Irish drill, fam. Irish drill is hard. Shout out Chucks. Wavy, the guy that was on Link Up with.
Can you
JB2.
understand what my man's saying?
I understand Chucks. JB2, he's got his way of doing it, innit? At the end of the day, that's his way. And it works for him. But there's a guy, the Chucks guy is the hardest guy out of all the drill lot.
Does he wear a
hard,
mask?
fam. Yeah. He wears a mask still. He's cold, man.
What about the gospel drill? Spat Nation, gospel drill, Hope Dealers.
You know what, yeah? I believe in God, innit? Like, I'm a Christian and that. And I used to go, I wouldn't say I used to go to church, but I just ain't been church in a minute still. Man, I used to go back to church still. And I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get young people to come to the church.
For lubes.
But there's a way in doing it. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? There's a difference in me saying, come to church because you're going to have an encounter with God and he's going to make you happy and he's going to take away your depression and your family problems. There's a difference between that and being like, yo, like, come church, yeah? And you'll definitely get lubes, man. You'll definitely driving a good car. You'll definitely driving a Lamborghini. Which one is more valuable?
But the actual music, man's got lyrics like these Christians ain't on piss, a man are holding Bibles like they're guns. I haven't really got a... what do you think of it?
I don't know, man.
The actual
Honestly,
music
at the end of
side.
the day, I can't judge no man, and I'm not trying to give no modest answer or anything, but I can't judge no man. If some of them are genuinely doing it because they believe it's the right thing and it's gonna get man to come church and change their life, then God will bless them, innit? Like that's them. They won't suffer no consequences, or they'll find a new way of doing it better. Yeah. And the guys that are doing it with the negative intentions, God will deal with them. That's really all I have to say about that still. I'm not against it and I'm not 100% for it, but if they're promoting a positive message, it's calm still. It's calm to me.
Is
I
it
don't
positive?
mind. I guess so, yeah. I guess so. If you're talking about bringing souls to God, which they say, then yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I mean, they might describe the Bible as a weapon or a gun, but fam, that's the way they worship God, innit? Like, man can't really judge a man's thing.
I'm just asking you because you're the drill guy. Personally, I just think fucking leave him alone. Personally,
Musically, I think they make amazing. Like Trap Mash is a banger. Trap Mash is a banger, and I'm happy for TK Mad Max in a way because he jumped off the road to do that, but he still has a music career, if that makes sense. And now he's doing the church thing. Obviously, I don't know about that, but yeah,
Can I
music
just
I think is good.
bring that back a bit? Because you said if you was in any videos, you're affiliated. So these men that have now converted into the church, if an op sees them, like what is it? Is it for them? Are they still going to be approached by an op and like even is that op going to be like, no, he's a church boy?
he goes at church as well.
No, I'm just saying because we're saying when you said like if you're in a video you're affiliated, like I personally don't agree with that. I think I don't agree.
No,
with
I
that
mean
at all.
you shouldn't be affiliated, definitely.
Yeah.
But you will be. Does that make sense?
No, I hear what
do
you're
you get
saying
what I'm trying to say?
completely, yeah.
But yeah, to answer your whole question, I mean they're presenting a positive message, fam. Like, and I don't. At the end of the day, fam, I just don't see nothing wrong with it, fam. Like, I don't think they are doing it to get the audience to backlash them. I think they're doing it because they think it's right. If you're doing it and you've jumped off the road and you're converting to God and you see it up, fam, they will probably teach you what to do in church. They'll probably teach you what to do, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they'll give you some practical advice. And if you're not on the road thing, you're not on the road thing, innit? If you believe in God and you believe that he works for you, he will see you out of the danger. That's just what man can say, do you get what I mean? But it's their religion and it's what they're doing. And at the end of the day, I wish man could just take out 5 racks from my pocket. I'm not going to walk with 5 racks, but take out 5 racks and just put it on the table. I don't know if you saw the interview. I wish I could do that, you get me? But for me, it's all about having a relationship with God, innit? Money or no money, fam. I've had peas and I've been broke. I've been broke and I've had peas. Like, I know exactly what it is. And you can have all the money in the world and be unhappy, fam. You can be unhappy. But if you got God or you got whatever you believe in, that is your bliss, then that's it. And if that's what they have and that's what they're trying to find, then man can't really comment too much on that.
With documentaries, anything else coming in the future?
Yeah, so obviously I don't really want to talk too much about the whole of 2019 because I just feel like whatever will happen. But in the pipeline, I've got a documentary coming out on the 5th of February. It's going to be called The Masked Driller. It's just going to be about the different masks worn in the UK scene. So it's not going to be like a proper
How long is
series.
this going to be on Mars?
It's going to be a short thing still. It's going to be a mini thing, but it's just something just to put out, just because right now drill is in a tensious place. There's a lot of tension in drill. Just need something to make man laugh or just relax for a little bit, if that makes sense.
I was going to say, because you're going to do a documentary about Mars, even with the K-Trap thing being an idiot because he wears a mask.
No, man, no. And also I got On Your Block 2 coming out. This one's going to be proper. Obviously, the first one was a budget thing, man. My bro just got a camera and we just shot it. But this one's going to be fully a license. Like, it's going to be a proper film. It's going to be like a film. So, yeah, man.
So what platform is that going to be on?
On my channel, Mr. Montgomery. Just go on YouTube, Mr. Montgomery. I'm in talks with Link Up for a new show. And just about to produce a new show on there as well.
What's that about?
Just gonna be like a news round, but like a real in-depth one, like news night.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something like that, but more youthful, if that makes sense.
Weekly thing or fortnight? Or?
We're still trying to see what's gonna happen still. So yeah, got that, but Yeah, man, got a couple. I got like a not an out. I'm gonna describe it as an album, but it's gonna be like just like a series of interviews and real in-depth interviews from the best drill artists.
Have you already got some done?
Yeah, no, not done, but I've got names and confirmation. So we're just filling in dates, but that's
Can't give us no names, no.
Nah, no names just yet, man. That's gonna come around.
All we
Easter.
do now is that Notes is not on it.
No beef to Notes, man. Notes is doing his thing. Shout out K-Trap as well. No one's on a beefing thing or fighting nobody thing. It's just great music and moving forward, and that's what I mean from the bottom of my heart. Like, too many young people are dying over stupidity, and if I've ever hurt anyone or insulted man in a way, please forgive me. I've learned, I've grown up, and
You don't
that's
have to
that,
do
you
all
feel
that,
me?
bro.
Huh?
You don't have to do
No.
all
Man saying that, man. Man saying that, but yeah, that's just what it is. But if you have a problem, any artist,
Just DM
man
him,
will
man.
say something. You get me? I'm not gonna sit back and not
This
say
guy, I
nothing. Man's
don't
gonna
get it.
say
Man goes
something.
from man goes from professional. If I've
Nah, man, there's a difference between no, but my bro, yeah.
Don't chat my name.
Not to go on too off topic, but there's a difference between violence and standing your ground.
Yeah,
you know,
this is
you
the
can
internet,
stand your
yeah.
ground, not verbally, but you can stand your ground. You know what I'm trying to say, and that might mean saying certain things that are not too past the barrier, but saying certain things that reminds people that please don't play with me, fam.
Yeah.
Get me? I'm a professional guy, but I'm not a dickhead. I'm not a waste man. I'm not like, I will stand my ground, fam. But we're not on violence or anything like that. That's not what it's on, man. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Alright, bro. Looking forward to the documentaries and the new stuff coming out, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's been the
coming
best
out, man.
interview still.
Oh shit, man.